from my book rather than from online. So this, what I use is the Zondervan Exhaustive Concordance. Notice it's an NASB. That's the version of the Bible that I use. You definitely need a concordance that's the same version, just because some of the words are translated differently in different versions. And if you look up the word in yours, it's not going to be in this one if they translate it to a different word. So you'll find it in the Greek, but not in the English. So I'm just going to walk through how I do this for you. Okay, so use my concordance. So let's say I want to look up about suffering, as we've been reading in 1 Peter. So you'll notice there's just, it's basically the front of your concordance is more like a dictionary or an index in that it's alphabetical. So you just look up the word that you want and find it in there. And I notice there's suffered, suffering, sufferings, suffers, suffer. So all of these passages in Scripture come from, are found, translated suffer, suffered, suffering, suffering, suffers. And those are all the passages. Now, if I want to look up the Greek word, for example, here's 1 Peter, 4 different occasions of suffered, and I'll notice that all 4 of them say 3958. So that's the word number that I'll look for in the back. I'm also noticing, look, 1 Peter, 1 Peter, 1 Peter. So 4 other occasions of suffer, 3958. It's the same number. Suffering, I see more 1 Peter, 3958. Now this one's a different number, 3804. The same experiences of sufferings. And then down here we've got some more 1 Peters with sufferings, that 3804 again. What I notice is that this sufferings, the suffering up here, those are nouns. So the 3804 is, I'm guessing, the noun form of the verb suffer. So if I want to look up in the back just to see the definition or the Greek word, I'm going to look up the number 3958. So I look back here and I notice, first of all, there's a Hebrew dictionary. I don't want Hebrew. So if I look 3958 in the Hebrew, I will find the wrong word. I want it in Greek. So I find 3958. I'm getting close. 3958. There it is. Pasho. Aiken to 3997. So if I wanted a different view of kind of what it's similar to, like, I could look up that word, but that might take me on a different rabbit trail. It means to suffer, to be acted on, and it shows you here different ways that it's translated in my Bible. Endured, endured sufferings, suffer, suffered, suffering, suffers. So those are the different words that I might look up to find this exact definition. If I was curious about that 3804 word, I could look it up as well. And I find it right here, pathema, and I notice it says from 3958. So it is the same root word, it's just a different form of it. I think in this case it's a noun versus a verb. So I'm going to go back to suffers, and I'm going to look up anywhere else that translated 3958. I'm going to stick in the New Testament because the Old Testament's going to have a different numbering system. But I notice all the way back in Matthew, I find it. I find it in a few places in Matthew, a couple places in Matthew. I find it in Mark, a couple. Luke. Acts, it's a different word, but there we got some in Acts. A few of them in Acts are the same word. 2 Corinthians, it's the same word. Galatians, Philippians. So I'm going to look up all of these different passages in my Bible that have that same word. Now, if you want to look up the different The other sufferings, you may, you just want to look up the definitions and see if they're the same idea that you're looking for. So anyway, that's how you do it. You just look up, it tells you all of the Bible verses that are the same word in Greek, and then you just start studying away.